What's up, guys? Now you've seen all the other reviews on the Radiomaster Boxer, but what is my impression of it, and is it going to replace my Radiomaster TX16S? Maybe not, but let's talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff in today's review. Here we go. Now, my first impression of the Boxer when I first saw it, it looks a lot like the TBS Mambo. Is it a replacement for that? It may be a competitor for that. If you're looking for long range or ELRS, this has a built-in 1-watt ELRS module that also has a cooling fan inside. Now, the Boxer has been designed to be low profile and more packable and portable than the TX16S. It does have the TX16S on height. It doesn't have as many switches on there as the TX16S. For me, I'm always breaking switches, so it's good to have extra switches. You can see there's a few broken switches on mine, which came from travel and just hanger rash, but this has low profile switches across the front. We have all the shorter switches. It has 4 switches across the front. They don't use the longer switches so that when you pack it, it's a little less tall from front to back, which is kind of nice. They also used a collapsible fabric, probably industry first handle on the back as well, so it's a little different than the TX16 foldable aluminum handle here. I kind of prefer having a kickstand on it if I want to prop it up on the bench, so I kind of do prefer still this foldable aluminum style stand rather than the fabric one, but you can take this off, so it'd be interesting if you could take this off and add a foldable kickstand. That might be an option coming up later. And the Boxer does come in 2 flavors. You can get it in 2.4 with a built-in ELRS module with 1 watt and an internal fan, but the 4-in-1 version does not have internal fan built in, but you have many more protocols that you can bind to, so you can make a choice there. And while the Boxer doesn't have as many switches as the TX16S, it has enough switches on here for most of us who are flying FPV drones. So if you're flying more complicated iNav types of aircraft and you need more switches, more channels, you can go with the TX16S. But I feel like for most people, this has enough switches. And you also have the 6 flight mode buttons across the bottom as well for an extra option for adding extra functions. They do come with Hall gimbals for stock setup for the radio, but you can also upgrade them to the AGO ones if you prefer to. And I wish they had done this on the TX16S originally, have a removable internal antenna, which they do not have. The Boxer does have this. You can take this antenna off and put a more long-range suitable antenna on here on the fly. That's super nice, and I really wish the TX16S could do that, but the Boxer does. Another feature that's nice for safety is the arm switch position is a button style switch here, so push in and it does hold. The other side is a momentary switch. The TX16 does not have this. It has the longer switch here, which is more prone to accidental arming or disarming while flying. Across the top of the radio, we have some other functions as well. We have a simulator port, we have a headphone jack, and we also have a firmware port here for USB for Edge TX updates. Once you plug in a USB cable, you'll see these lights flashing across the front to let you know that you're connected. And on the bottom, we have a 2-amp charge port for the internal battery, which is super nice. When you plug in a power cable here, you'll see that the power button lights up orange to let you know that it's charging. The SA switch is a 2-position switch, the SB is a 3, your SC switch is a 3-position switch, and your SD switch is a 2-position switch. The pots in the middle have a nice notch right in the center, so you can find out where the center for your pot switch is. That's kind of nice as well. This radio is also compatible with other types of JR Module Bay modules. The Crossfire full size with the diamond antenna also fits through the strap. They made the strap large enough to fit this through there and plug in. So if you're working with Crossfire, that's no problem to plug that in and remove it. Now, where TX16 guys might get really jealous and have serious FOMO is the fact that this has a much larger battery bay on here. It also has the brand new 2S 6200 milliamp battery. It is a LiPo versus a Li-ion, which is the original battery that came with the TX16S. Big difference here is that this one will now get you up to 20 hours of use time with this battery. So this is awesome. And being envious of this, I had to quickly try it out on my TX16S. So good news for you guys if you already have a TX16S is that this battery does fit in there. And you can get the cables at the very bottom. just enough room there. Also, you can still get the door on the back of this, and it fits in just fine. But you're still going to get a longer runtime on the Boxer versus the TX16S because you have a giant full LED color screen here with touchscreen ability with Edge TX as well. And here you have a monochrome LCD screen. And you have to know that this battery does not actually come with the Boxer when you purchase it, so you have to buy this separately. But it does come with an SD card, which is already flashed with the latest version of Edge TX. And as far as menu navigation goes, it's pretty easy. It's pretty much the same setup as most of the other Radiomaster radios, including the TX16S. It has the jog wheel and push button on the right side, the model button here, the 6 switches across for modes. We have our trim switches up here, and we have system, return, page forward, page back, and telemetry here, and we have our power button up here. If we press that, it's going to take us into Edge TX. So now we're in this menu here. We can page over to the various front main page screens. Channel monitors are here. You can go back to the main screen. You can see your battery telemetry here. And if you want to go into the model menu, all you have to do is press the model button here. It'll take you to your list of models. Once you're in there, you can scroll up and down to select a certain model. And if you want to go into that model, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is press page forward there. It'll take you into your model screen. It's pretty much this kind of the same look as the QX7 in my opinion. It's something that I've used before. I won't have a huge learning curve for this. So if you've already used this before, it's virtually the same. And Edge TX isn't that much different than OpenTX. So guys, if you've used OpenTX before, you never use Edge TX, you'll actually like Edge TX quite a bit. But you can go in there and you can do bind functions. Go into the system menu here for Express ELRS, and we can go in and change the packet rate, telemetry, switch mode, model match, the power output. Right now it's set to 100, and we can do here, we can make a selection. Let's see how far we can go up, 500 and 1000. Once you hit 1000 there, it's going to do the internal fan. It's going to kick on and keep this from resetting or having a crash while you're flying. Very important. Most of the other radios, when they're running too high of milliwatt, a lot of times you'll have them shut down. They just can't handle over 1 watt internal. So super important that they had a built-in physical fan on here. I think that's super great. Now you may have also noticed that they have looks like game names in here. We have Asteroids, Breakout, Pong, Simulator, Snake, X-Tris. We have a variety of different 8-bit games in here, which is really funny. So if we just click on Asteroids here, for example, it loads up the Asteroids game. How freaking cool is that? So now we can sit there and play Asteroids. That is super cool. So this is something I've never seen before. It says pull stick up. There we go. And move in there. Oh my gosh. Here we go, guys. I mean, this might not even be 8-bit here. This might be like 2-bit, but it's kind of funny that they put those on there for you. Hopefully yours comes with this. It's kind of hilarious. And while you're in the system menu settings here, if you press page forward, it'll take you to the SD card folders here. You can add things. You can add new models here if you want to do screenshots and other kind of system settings for sounds. You can also add those. The radio setup for the time, the beep volume, the haptic, and all that's in there. Global functions. Trainer setup is set to slave. You can change that to master if you wanted this one be master. You can also go and change the calibration of the sticks, which is kind of nice. Pot centers and firmware options here. We can add and change RX modules. And it looks like we have the factory edition on here, version 2.80 Edge TX4 Boxer. So that's nice that Radiomaster is working with Edge TX developers to bring us an actual Boxer version of this Open Edge TX firmware. I almost said OpenTX. My mind is just really set to OpenTX, but this is Edge TX, and it's great that they have a Boxer edition Edge TX. Now, one other thing you might not have noticed when we had the radio flipped over on its back earlier is that it does have this heatsink here, and it has vents for the internal physical fan. And again, if you're going to run this on 1 watt, the physical fan kicks on and it keeps your radio from crashing mid-flight. So that's really, really important. And it's just the first of its kind that I've seen for an internal fan. The TX16S does not have an internal fan. So it is nice to see that as we're moving forward to higher wattage, that this does have the internal built-in fan. And one other thing that's kind of nice, this is a nice grab handle here, but what I also notice is that it does have M3 bolts here, so we could take these two bolts off, we can move it to make it tighter or looser, and if maybe later on, maybe they'll have an upgrade, like I said before, if you wanted to upgrade this to a metal foldable kickstand, that'd be a cool option from Radiomaster because they really do love to give us lots of options and different aluminum blings, the AG01 gimbals, so you might see some options coming down the pipe for the Boxer because I think this will be a pretty popular radio the way it is released and all the options that it came with. And you guys didn't see it yet, but they do give you a pretty nice case with an embossed Radiomaster logo on the front. It has a grab handle, zipper here that goes all the way around. It's quite a bit smaller format as well, again, than my TX16S case is huge. So this is kind of nice. You also have a center strap that holds your radio down in the radio bay. You have a zipper here for adding your extra components or extra batteries and things like that. I also got a Li-ion battery pack. If you have Li-ions already, it's kind of nice that you can use this with the Boxer as well. So you have some options for the Boxer. Also inside here, this was kind of cool that this has the seat belt, like I said, but it does have ridges here that hold the radio from sliding back and forth and damaging your antenna. So you can take this antenna off again if you're worried about it being damaged in travel. But for, say, overseas flight like that, that would be a nice option to be able to take stuff off and keep all your antennas safe so you don't show up with a broken antenna. But at the end of the day, is this going to be my daily driver radio for the channel? I don't think it will be until something happens to my TX16S, because for now I really like the way, I still like the way the feel of full-size radio feels in my hand for daily flying. It is my preferred radio, but this really has my interest, and 20 hours battery time on here, up to 1 watt power for long range for my FPV planes and my wings. Yeah, it's a contender and it's really trying to get my attention. I also like the fact that it's a low profile design and the built-in fan is also super cool for high power long range flights. You don't want this overheating in the middle of the summer. So, and they also gave us this tasty little stick cover and gimbal cover, which is nice. So a lot of options with the Boxer. You guys can check this one out in the link down below if you want to grab one. That would be awesome. But I appreciate you guys watching my reviews. As always, honest reviews, and let me know what you guys think about the Boxer in the comments down below. And if you ordered one or if you have one on the way. Guys, I'm Justin Davis. I will see you on the next one. Take care.